All right, I'm going to start off the top by just saying that I wrote something about an important issue that I don't think is being discussed by the people that should be discussing it this way. This is about immigration. So, in this country right now, we see what happens when Republicans, the fascists in charge, have all the power. We have Stephen Miller, a admitted Christian nationalist. Folks, quick little piece of info. That is just a dressed up way of saying that this person is a Nazi. Stephen Miller is driving domestic policy on immigration, and it stands to reason that he's directing a lot of foreign policy too. This man has a past. It's ugly. People that know him, family members, have stated that this man is just an ugly, terrible human being, and they're not quite sure how he got to where he is as a person. So, this is something that I think we need to message to some degree to our lawmakers on the Democrat side. They don't have a counter response to Republicans on immigration. And I think that's a disgrace because immigrants are what has built this country, has driven this country. They are the engine of our economy. They contribute so much and they take so little. They are getting robbed, and now they are being kidnapped. They are having their rights violated. Yes, they all have constitutional rights that are being violated. Things that are happening to them are against the law, US law and international law. So I'm going to read something. So just remember something. To the extent there is a problem with any immigration in this country, it is a manufactured problem by conservative lawmakers. It is not immigrants that are the problem. It's the internationally manufactured crisis denying people a pathway to citizenship here. We are seeing this fascist Republican regime close down legal statuses, stripping people of a legal way to be here. We are seeing a maximization of cruelty, of state lawlessness and terror for one purpose: to create a white ethno state. This is un American and much more like Nazi Germany and their plan based on pseudoscience based race science beliefs. They believe the people in charge are flat out lying about crime rates of migrants, about dollars being spent on these folks, all while denying their vast positive contributions and the policy solutions they refuse to address while they have all the opportunity to implement those. Crime rates for migrants are less than 1% of migrants compared to native born citizens. I have to look up the stat, but for native born citizens in the United States, they have much higher crime rates. That's just a fact. We should never look at anyone and differentiate what rights they should be guaranteed based on situations they were born into or what patch of dirt they were born on. This nativism and American exceptionalism, nationalism, individualism are all tools used to divide us up and distract us from the people who wield power and are actually responsible for the harms that impact all of us, who have all the money and influence to actually do positive change. But to say they have so much power and influence over all of us is recognition that they should not be able to control that much that affects 99% of us. That's the job of representative government of the people, by the people, for the people, rather than of and for the robber baron class of multimillionaires and billionaires and mass conglomerate corporations. Stop looking at people who have no power, who are just trying to make a life for themselves, often coming from circumstances that many of us could not relate to. It's educational. It's educational to look at the places these people come from seeking asylum and look at U.S. interventions with those places. We see the damage then. The human consequences that stem from disaster capitalism, Western imperialism, interference with sovereign states, resource capture, and destabilization of nations that choose different economic models and different forms of government against the preferences of Western powers. We, the people, are in no way natural enemies. We should stand united in solidarity with all the world's people. We are the same. We all seek safety, freedom of movement, freedom of opportunity, freedom of expression, and a right to all the essential things of life, as well as connection with others. The rest is the problem of too much money and power in the hands of too few that are self-serving over the needs of the masses. This is just the reality, folks. Immigrants are not our enemy. They are not a threat. People have been propagandized to dehumanize these people. They're just a scapegoat that the conservatives in government have used for a very long time. They're tools of billionaires. They put pressure on these people because they are a cheap source of labor. And in fact, right now, they are sending those who have been kidnapped to for profit prisons. Many of them are under the control of Geo Group, which a lot of the people in the current Trump regime, the Republican regime, have stock in. They have ownership of these for profit prisons. A couple of things. One, you basically have slavery happening again. They work for a dollar a day or nothing at all, and they charge them exorbitant fees in order to make phone calls. Like, if they get a dollar a day that's the most they're going to get, and they'll charge them like $5 to make a phone call to their family. It's pretty gross. And most of the time, these people haven't done anything wrong. They don't have any criminal record. They have every right to be here. They were following the process like they're supposed to, even though this process really needs to be reformed. All that's really needed is a pathway to citizenship that's fair, that is expedient, that is very cheap or free, I would argue, and it shouldn't take such a long time. There's a reason why they have people in precarity. It's because it serves moneyed interests. The moneyed interests want cheap or free labor. They want people to be easily exploited. This is the group of people that they exploit the most. It's about the profit margins. It is not necessary for them to basically have forced labor or slave labor or, rip people off. Like wage theft is a huge problem in this country. So is healthcare. Those things are kind of related. But we should not be looking and getting angry at an exploited group of people that are being abused by the people in power. It's the reason why they're being targeted is because they're the easiest to scapegoat in this country. We have a lot of racist people. We have a lot of people that have been programmed to have them be an effective scapegoat. And it makes people look away from the real problem. The real problem is people that drive up the costs for everything. That's wealthy people and corporations. The same people that refuse to pay us reasonable wages, whether exorbitant salaries, bonuses, stock options go up and up and up and up and up every single year. They cheat on their taxes. They hide money in tax havens. They fight in Congress to have their taxes lowered or eliminated. They control Congress through campaign finance issues, thanks to Citizens United. So we really have to understand the nature of the problem in order to be able to address it. Okay, so you guys take care of yourselves. I had to talk about this issue because I don't really hear the argument being made often enough about the positive case for immigrants and why what they're doing, this fascist Republican regime, the Confederate Party now, because they're against the United States. They have gone to war with our people. That's just a fact. This is a problem. It costs way more money to do this. And they're not concerned about money. They're not concerned about tax dollars. They just literally set 1,000,000 pounds of food that were meant for starving children on fire, burnt it to ashes. We spend more money on housing these people this way. We're going to be charged so much more money with all the lawsuits that are going to come down. And a lot of the money is just a slush fund. They used FEMA money for this also to build the what they call Alligator Alcatraz, which is like Alligator Auschwitz, a concentration camp. They spent so much money. That money was for FEMA. It was out of FEMA money. FEMA money should be going to help Americans that are in desperate need after natural disasters. And Trump wanted to eliminate FEMA and make the states pay for it, which is impossible. So don't tell me it's about money. There's plenty of money to actually help American people. They just refuse to use it. So they'd rather cut 17 million people off of their health care and give billionaires tax breaks than help us. It's not about the money, folks. It's that they don't care. And they always have to have a scapegoat, whether it's trans people, whether it's, black and brown people, immigrants, undocumented or otherwise. They'll call human beings illegal, which no human being is illegal. You know what the equivalent is for crossing over the border without legal status, it's the same thing as jaywalking, literally. It's basically the same thing, right? It's not illegal. It's not. It's not a federal offense. And they're going to take people's life away, send them out of the country, send them to like a torture facility for that? Really? What if it were you? Honestly, what if it were you? What if it was a family member? It shouldn't need to be you for you to care. Your humanity should tell you this stuff is wrong. Just think about it.